Hi there, in this Gem Blenders card spotlight video I'm going to be looking at Verve Conflicter as well as some cards that pair really well with it. This whole set of cards is about de-blending your opponent's heroes and benefiting from that in certain ways. And it kind of all centers around Verve Conflicter, so I'll start off by looking over that card. Verve Conflicter is a level 5 blend, uses a Terra Gem, Cryo Gem, Electro Gem, Nocturna Gem, and Arrow Gem. 3 attack, 4 defense, and its effect is Redox Rush. For every blend in an opponent's discard, plus 1 attack when attacking that opponent. When other blenders de-blend, it absorbs the energy released into the atmosphere. So that's Verve Conflicter. Has a pretty solid attack and defense, and you can see from the effect, it's one of the cards that benefits from your opponent having lots of blends in their discard. As we look through other cards in this set, we'll see how certain effects can power up Verve Conflicter. 3 attack's not going to get you far if you get it out early game, but if you plan ahead and use other blends before you use Verve Conflicter, you'll be able to do massive damage towards late game. So let's look at the other cards to get an idea of how to do that. Starting with Corruptor. Corruptor's level 2 blend, Electro Gem, Nocturna Gem. 1 attack, 0 defense, and its effect is Short Circuit. When an opponent attacks this hero, they must discard the top card from their deck immediately. Copper wires run along its circulatory system, allowing for electricity to pass through its body. A really good level 2 blend. It only has 1 attack and 0 defense, so not like a powerhouse by any means. But its effect, I found, is actually very good. In most cases, an opponent won't attack a Corruptor because they don't want to discard the top card of their deck. The way Gem Blenders decks are built, you don't want to lose a lot of cards, especially early game. That's usually when you'll have your Corruptor out. So it's actually a pretty good defense wall, even though it has 0 defense. The way Corruptor pairs with Verve Conflictors, if they do choose to attack, there's a chance they could discard a blend, and that would power up Verve Conflicter in the late game. Another card I want to look at is Signal Corruptor. Signal Corruptor is a level 3 blend, uses a Terra Gem, Electro Gem, and Nocturna Gem. 2 attack, 1 defense, and its effect is Frequency Bomb. Once per turn, you may inflict 5 damage to your HP and discard 1 level 2 blend on an opponent's field. Its long antenna can intercept and alter radio transmissions. So that's Signal Corruptor. You can see how its effect fits with Verve Conflicter. 5 damage does seem like a lot, but you're immediately able to discard a level 2 blend on your opponent's field. And while that doesn't sound like a lot necessarily, it's just a level 2 blend, some level 2 blends can be very crucial to certain strategies. So Signal Corruptor is a way to get rid of that with really not that much damage, depending on what your starting HP total is. There's also certain cards that pair well with the Signal Corruptor, like a Toxigram, where you can benefit from doing damage to your own life. I'm going to move on to Bondbreaker. Bondbreaker is one of the 2 level 4 blends that's a sub-blend of Verve Conflicter. It uses a Terra Gem, Cryo Gem, Electro Gem, and Nocturna Gem. 0 attack, 2 defense. Its effect is Dissolve Array. Once per turn, you may discard a number of gems from your hand and or field equal to the level of a blend on an opponent's field and discard that blend. Using advanced chemical reactions, it can dissolve blended gem energies. With a Bondbreaker, you can potentially get rid of any blend on your opponent's field, so that's where its real power lies. You do have to give up a lot by discarding gems from your hand and or field. But the and or there is where this effect really can be good. Because if you're able to get a lot of gems in your hand by some other means, you're really not giving up that much. So if you build a deck around using a Bondbreaker, it doesn't have to be as bad as it sounds. Another way I like to use a Bondbreaker can kind of be like a worst case scenario, because if you're able to play a Bondbreaker on your field, that's 4 gems immediately. So no matter what, you can at least get rid of a level 4 blend on your opponent's field by discarding the 4 gems used to make Bondbreaker. So that's kind of a worst case scenario, but that can save you in many cases. So yeah, really cool card. One of the few cards, in addition to Signal Corruptor, that can actually get rid of blends on an opponent's field. So definitely something to consider when building a Verve Conflicter deck. Moving on to Break Detector. Break Detector is the 2nd level 4 blend in this set. Terra Gem, Electro Gem, Nocturna Gem, and Arrow Gem. 1 attack, 4 defense. Its effect is Frequency Array. Every time a blend is added to an opponent's discard, you may draw up to 2 cards. From high altitudes, it detects blended gem energies using radio waves. It has great defense, low attack, so you're not going to be doing a lot of damage to this, but it's a great building card to Verve Conflicter. So if you're able to play a Break Detector on your way to getting down a Verve Conflicter, you can prep in a great way because you're able to draw a lot of cards while getting rid of blends on your opponent's field. So if you're able to combine a Break Detector, say with a Bond Breaker, or with a Signal Corruptor, or even a Corruptor even, and you're able to get blends in your opponent's discard with one of these three ways, you're able to get a draw advantage on your opponent and also have high defense. And then you can blend into a Verve Conflicter and have high attack and the same defense. You can even use a Dissolve, which is a 3-star action card. Discard one blend on an opponent's field. And that will activate Break Detector's ability, and it'll help power up Verve Conflicter as well. Those are all the cards I wanted to show as sub-blends of Verve Conflicter. These are basically all of the ways in the game so far to get rid of blends on your opponent's field. So that's definitely not a common strategy in the game. That's just not the way Gem Blenders is designed. But it can be a fun way to win the game and play against your opponent. So definitely consider building a deck around Verve Conflicter. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Stay tuned for another card spotlight video sometime soon. And thanks so much for watching. See you next time.